Hi, Susan here. Okay, if you've been watching my vlogs for a while, you're not going to want to miss this one. Let's get started. Hi guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time, please subscribe and hit on the bell notification so you don't miss any of this. In an earlier vlog, I told you guys that I thought I would want to have the help of my seamstress just to kind of speed up the process and work on her machine, because we talked about my machine not being all that new and industrial enough to handle this dress. So come on, hon, I want to introduce you. This is my longtime seamstress, Hung. I've had her in other videos. I'll put links so you can see those videos, and we're going to work together with her with the the industrial sewing machine so that we can actually get this intricate part of the boning done. Okay, let's get started. In the last episode, remember how I ruched this side on the dress form and I told you I was going to come back and ruche the other side? Well, I did that. I ruched both sides just like the process I did on the last vlog, and I put the triangle in the middle like I talked about. But I felt like it was too weak, it was too limp. So I actually had backed it with a special hard lining, interface lining that I have here. I sewed the same pieces in, so now this bodice is going to perform nicely and hold it up. Remember guys, this part of the bodice, believe it or not, is holding up the entire dress. So this has to support everything. Okay, so we got that done. Now we got to do the middle section, which is the corset underneath. I'm going to be a human dress form today, guys. I'm wearing something underneath here, and I'm going to actually try this on me. I'm not going to have my dress form on this episode at all. We're actually going to be sewing and fitting on myself for this lace gown project. Okay, so I put those panels, remember the corset that goes underneath here, that we actually cut out in a few episodes ago. Okay, so I pinned them together like this, and I have the top like this, and I'm going to have my seamstress actually sew these seams in so I can show you how to put the boning in. Okay, let's do that next. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance because this is stretchy and it's going to be way too big for me if I don't. This is where I become the mannequin, human, guinea pig, whatever you want to call it. And I want to try the panel on. Remember, it was stretchy, so I did the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I need an inch in the back, so I have an inch. She's checking it just to make sure I have that 1 inch seam allowance excess in the back for the zipper and any other changes that I might want. And we're good. So now we're going to put the bone in each one of these panels. Okay, let's show that next. I have to cut some of the excess because it is way too much fabric to go inside. And then we're going to turn it back so that we have a self-casing just 1/4 of an inch finished. Yeah. And she's got it measured. Yeah. Perfect. And because this is sheer, I like the fact that it's very clean and we're going to use our self-casing. We want to make sure it's not too loose, because if it's too wide, the boning will turn. We want to make sure it's really tight, because if it isn't tight, this boning will just flip on us and turn like bad elastic, right? So it has to be just right, that casing. And because it's sheer, look how cool that's going to look with just the boning very cleanly put in each one of these seams. So it's fitting me, it's cupping nicely, and then the boning is going to be here, holding the whole structure up. And all of this, guys, is what's going to hold up all those crazy layers on the bottom that we have to make sure. So this all has to be, this is the root of the gown that has to be just right before we can get all those wonderful layers made. All right, so now we have to cut the boning 1/2 inch shy of both sides, because we have to put the seam allowance here on the bottom as well as the top. And now we're going to go ahead and then we cut these panels like this, and we're then going to have to put them inside the casing like this, and it's got to be really tight, like I said, like that. And then it has to be sewn to secure them both on the top and the bottom to keep it in place, just like that. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on each one of these, and then we're going to sew these down. Okay. Still doing it. Or is it just me? Okay, here and here. And that's one. Okay, so now after we put each one of these pieces inside of the seam allowance, we have to secure it so it doesn't move on the bottom and the top where that seam allowance is, so 1/2 inch on the top, 1/2 inch on the bottom. And look how it's coming out beautifully. Couture is not the same as ready to wear, guys. There's a lot of intricacies of it. It has to be just right, and there has to be a level of perfection when you're doing it. So it takes time, it's painstaking, but again, the results are amazing. And that's why you see the price tags on some of these pieces. Some of these pieces takes months to accomplish, and people don't realize that each one of these processes is time consuming. So we did the boning on this mid section that's going to go here on the mid part of the dress, and I have to get lace applique all along this piece first before I can finish the top part, and then we're going to encase it with that. So we're going to stop there today so that I can get the lace applique on this and get started, and we'll get back to you in the next vlog. Just testing, okay?
It's recording.
Okay. Hi, Susan here. Okay, we're going to... Give me a minute. Give me a minute.